Hello, LEGO lovers. This is L, and this is kind of a different video. So recently, you probably have noticed I put up a bricks and pieces video, one of my biggest hauls yet. And I mentioned that I wanted to make a little side video where I kind of play around with the parts that I got because some of them are pretty interesting. And that's basically what this video is. Just kind of doing some comparison, looking at seeing how things are. I'm not going to do every piece, just some things that I thought would be interesting. So let's kind of get into this stuff. First thing, maybe the easiest thing, is we're going to compare our Friends kitten to the City kitten. So, as you can see, they're both rather tiny. I'll get them on a plate here so we can kind of see them nicely next to each other. So as you can see, they are almost the exact same height. You can see that one has a bigger head than the other, and one actually has a bigger body than the other, but that is kind of how they're sitting. They're not too different in a way, besides the heads, and kind of the Friends one being more curved and the minifigure one being more bricked or squared. But they, to me, both look super cute and adorable. But as you can see, they're very similar in sizing, actually, besides their heads being very different sizes. So that's those. And some other things to play around with, the splat pieces. I found it interesting that they actually fit on a studded plate as such. I thought with the little things here they would not, and they are just as easy to get off as a 2x2. But yeah, no, that I think this will be a fun piece to use. Unfortunately, are a little expensive. But let's go through and throw some hair pieces on. So this is our mini doll that we will be using to represent some of these hair testing persons. So as you can see, I just love this. I know some people might complain about how that hangs around the shoulders and stuff. Personally, don't care. I think it looks fine. You know, hair doesn't always perfectly land on you, etc. So I love these. Also, since they're colorful, yeah, that's a big bonus. And again, just like that one, it's just nice. I don't know. The hanging off doesn't bother me as much. I just imagine, they have supermodel looks, so their hair always is in the wind or, whatever. And this one here, pretty nice. I really like these. And then you have your longer hair. This could actually be used for an aerial hair, possibly. That nice bright red color. Another bright hairpiece, can't complain about that. Green. This might not be the figure for the hairpieces, but it's just kind of nice to kind of see how they would look on your mini dolls a little bit. So you can see there, very nice. I love pink, obviously. So I'm a fan. Can't complain. Etc. Now let's play around with some neck attachments. So one thing with mini dolls is they have a bar, minifigures have a stud. However, you can, with pushing the head down, because you have extra room, you can sometimes kind of tighten it up. But usually having two of them makes it a little bit better. But if you're just posing, and in a way, having some leeway means you can kind of shift it around and pose it more than on a minifigure because they are flat backs. But like I said, again, they're gonna be loose. But one way you can kind of finagle that is with caping and just, filling in that area with something else. There's other accessories, just like one that I got here, that you can sometimes use with other accessories or together, which you cannot really do with minifigures because they have different necks. So you can actually take this, two of them on there, and plop that right there, and it's actually in place. Now, it does kind of make the head possibly angle a little different, but I think it's great. I like being able to put two accessories on mini dolls. I feel it's an advantage. No one else cares, probably, but I like it. So, you know, if you wanted to have like this as an armor piece, you could put, you know, a plate or something there. Obviously, because it's a Lego part and not a perfect action figure, it's going to look a little bulky or something. But still, I like that you can finagle and play around with stuff like that. Nice parting overall. I mean, again, if you have two of them, the accessories kind of work better in that aspect. So like this mask normally wouldn't really work very well alone on a mini doll. But kind of hard to do this with the camera in my way. But I try. Oh my gosh. I'll just keep dropping it, and then most of the video will be me dropping this. It's easier when I don't have a camera, but basically you can finagle it to work. And then it kind of stays and kind of looks good. But, you know, so that's why I like these, you know, accessories, especially when they have a thinner connection, because it usually makes it a little bit easier for them. But I think that's all that we can play around with and test on mini dolls. That's really necessary. So let's get into some of the other things. So one of the biggest things that I think was one of the more exciting things, and I have extra parts here to play around with, is these parts. These 1x2 plate, brick, whatevers. The first thing when I saw them is, can I take this, and make it awesome? Or whatever you want to call it. And I can. So by putting one of those new from the Frozen set bars in there, you can see that you can get a really nice, easy stud-to-stud connection. Or inverted, well, whatever. Stud on top, stud on bottom. Snot technique. Can turn it, just like so, to even get some different angling. But in my opinion, it's one of the coolest things that they've recently done. I don't know if they'll ever use it, but I think it's just really awesome. And obviously you can finagle it a little bit more. So if you want to do this, you can do that. However, if you do the other way around, you will have that bar in the middle there, that little thing. But again, that works. It fits there and kind of gives you a cool kind of look. So just, I think this piece is going to be really useful, and we're going to see it in different colors. It seems so just random and simple, but again, I think it's going to be a really cool part that you can use, because you're going to be able to stick, this doesn't work as well underneath, bars in it and just different places, you know, be able to do that, flip it over, do this. And one thing I already saw is you can take this, plop that on here, and you have kind of this. So you got, you know, studs up there, studs on the side here, and it is flat with that. So if you wanted to do this, you could do that. You should be able to put a plate right there if you want. Yeah, so there's interesting connections with this part. I think that's going to be really cool and interesting to be able to play around with, because it is effectively a brick. You might be able to get the same effect with two circular plates, but you would not get that texture, that flat texture perhaps. And then with that, we'll kind of talk about this part too, because this is very much the same in similar versatility, because you're going to have all these different connections all over the place. You're going to be able to do crazy stuff with it. And like I said, you can do a clip down the middle here, like so, and it can move a little bit, but not a whole lot. Or you can have a clip here. You can get two clips in there too. Pretty sure. Yep, there you go. Two clips. Have some crazy angles if you want, or just different, you know, mechanisms with stuff on the side. Just crazy versatility there. I really like those parts, obviously, as you can tell. And with these detail parts too, again, you'll be able to put things like this in there. And, you know, whatever, you can start making weird things with Lego with all this stuff. I think it's just crazy. I don't think I'm a master mock builder, but I think that someone else might see this and go, wow, that's okay, I didn't know you could do that, and that's going to be awesome. Just different things like that. And maybe you didn't know when you're actually watching this video and you're getting stuff out of it. But like I said, this can connect to a stud, and then you can, you know, I'm going to do something a little weird and dark here, but now that I thought of it, I'm going to like it. You can do this and make robo heads or something. You can do this other ways too, but just kind of an interesting little thing. Can you actually... Now I'm getting more ideas. Nope. I was going to say if the neck was long enough to actually stick into there. It is not. And then again with like this piece, you know, you're going to be able to clip things like this and get all sorts of different kind of, you know, angles. You can almost, this almost looks like a bird type creature already. And then stick bars in here if you want. I think you can stick a bar through it if you so want. Kind of. Yep. So just crazy amounts of versatility in these parts, and that's why I got them, because I think they're cool. Now Flappy Bird coming in, or mosquito or something. And then with like these parts too, since they have an axle hole, you're going to be able to do, you know, those kind of things. Obviously you'll be able to stick things. The only thing I like about these is these are so small that they're going to get lost pretty easily. And note that that kind of prevents you from putting it in, which is both an advantage and disadvantage, but we can make a crude jumper, I think. Yep, almost like that. A little different, weird maybe. It's just so many different ways that Lego can be connected, and I think that's just awesome. You know, you can do that. Reinforce connections just with different stuff here. Trying to see if there's anything else I didn't really show off or go about. These, which doesn't really look the best on this background. Do I have a random other color plate here? Yes, I do. All right. So, for example, these are going to create your dome type shape there, and then you can obviously finish that shape. And I don't know if they've done this in different colors at all, so you can get, you know, that rounded shape, a pimple kind of thing with it. I don't know if we're going to see them doing other things with that. I hope so. I thought they were going to load up the R2-D2 with it, but they did not. This doesn't really work. But like, I'm trying to see if there's anything else we can look at here. Lots of cool parts. These flame pieces. The other thing I was, before I turned the video on, I was, did I lose that part that I was just talking about? Nope. So with the ability that you can do this, right, which I think is crazy, I'm gonna just get it lined up here, is that they also have accessory holes on the side. So if I wanted to, I can do this, and I'm sure there's other things that you might see that you want to do with that. And you have this kind of effect going on, which is probably nothing that's relevant, but I just think it's interesting because you're going to be able to have an accessory hole in a brick like that. So you'll be able to have this. Almost looks like some sort of Olympic torch or something, actually. So you'll be able to do just so much with some of these parts. It's just kind of crazy, actually. So as simple as this part seems, and as silly, and same with this part, they're gonna just be loaded with different things you can do here. You know, this is kind of maybe a magical candle, just hanging out there, you know. And since it's a bar, it has a little bit more durability to stay in, which is another thing. You know, so, and also because they can connect and have a thing in there. Actually, I don't know if this would work. You can get different kind of dimensions of stuff, which I think that's just a plate. So different things that you can do with these parts. They're just super interesting. And this video is already really long already. I didn't realize that. One last part play with here. So this one, again, like I said, you're going to get some nice kind of angling if you want with it. If you so choose, and, you know, worming connections. I just think it's better than the 2 because it has more parity and length with these ones, which they're about exactly the same. So it makes it more, I don't know, accurately segmented of something, you know. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. I could play with this all day. I shouldn't. So just a really another interesting part. I mean, it has similarities to some other parts, but I think having it in one component makes it a lot easier to kind of play around with. And then the other thing with this, like I said, is you're going to have your ability to connect with these in different ways. I will be seeing these used as spaceship windshields for a long time, and often probably. I think that's going to be really cool. I'll be excited to see how people use that. But like I said, the one, you know, concept I had was to use it as a force field, which can be really easily done if you just put some plates there, put it like that, and suddenly it looks like a character is projecting a force field or something. And it doesn't take too much because you only have those parts. And you could actually kind of conceal those parts or something. You could build this up a little bit so it looks like an energy generator generating a force field or something. You know, obviously, if you want to have a character holding it, you can have a character holding it. Although that's not really gonna make sense much. It looks a little weird. But the only thing I have to say is because I got it from Lego, it's super scratched up. But I will say that this will be a really cool and fun part to play around with, especially with spaceships or just windows, force fields, etc. It's kind of like the balloon parts, but I feel like these are a little bit more useful than the balloon parts, just because for windshields and stuff. But I'm going to wrap up this video. Hopefully this is a video you liked. If not, or if it was too long or whatever, you let me know. But I just wanted to play around with some of the new parts and show off some of the things that you can do with them. But other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video and hopefully you check out more of my videos. Thanks again for watching.